absolutely correct. Well, speaking of being absolutely correct, welcome everyone to the much anticipated, super long overdue session 7, I think. I think we're on session 7. I think that's what I put there.
Mhm.
Let's
Think so.
double
Yes,
check. Yeah, session
session
7.
7.
Cool. Joining me today are 5 pretty cool dudes. Some of them more nerdy than others, but all of them nerds the same. Um, you know, we've got to really talk about fear. I think because some things have gone and some things have happened, but I think we must also talk about anti-fear. It's harder to read and harder to understand. The background radiation is just too light. But with that being said, when we last left off, our intrepid adventurers, you guys had some shit blow up. The Hellfire Hounds had dissolved, some of them literally. And it's been a couple of months of you guys sort of just wandering around in this relatively in good shape dropship, doing an odd job here and again. Our last mission, you guys had a really good, good mission. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It like you guys kind of fucked shit up. It was very positive, and I'm really proud of you guys. That's really all I have to say about that. So, good shit. With that being said, we are going to open our first scene in one of the dropship's meeting rooms. You are currently in orbit around a small celestial body that is known as Zenath. Zaniah. Zenith. You've picked up some new crew. You've picked up some subscribe to these nuts. Thank you, Atomic. Always a man of poignance and
Eloquence.
eloquence. Yes. But you picked up some new crew. And one of these new crew members is a somewhat fastidious young woman um, who has been appointed the head of HR, a job that Atomic is very familiar with,
hmm hmm
and she is currently doing employee reviews. Dare I say, like how have you been? What are some things you can work on? Here's some of the things you can do, and we're gonna pick up with with a meeting with uh, Janine, I believe it is, or Janie, as it were, Timelts. Big glasseted librarian kind of feel gal, as it were, and we're gonna pick up with a meeting. And first up in this particular meeting, is gonna be none other than Eric. Eric, you've been called in, and as you step into the meeting room, she kind of smiles to you and asks you if you'd like a cup of coffee or anything, and mentions like this is all just a formality. Don't worry about it. Your job's not at risk. Blah 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 blah. It says a bunch of very HR-ish things, right?
Always appreciate coffee.
Yeah. So she makes sure to get you some coffee, and as you sit down, she sort of smiles. She's got a little notepad, starts writing some things down. So Eric, may I call you Eric, or do you prefer Mister
Eric
Mister?
will be fine. This is an informal thing,
Okay,
of
writes
course.
it down. Just some writing, and she starts to just make a lot of small talk with you, Eric. Very much like, how do you like things here? Where do you think that we could have some improvements? Where are some things you think where, we can maybe cut some fat, things like that. And she goes kind of back and forth with you for a little bit, just getting your opinions. But I'd like to start with really the one question is she says, "What do you see as your real purpose here among this mercenary company? What would you say it is you do here?"
That's a pretty easy one. I try to lead this ragtag group as best I can, at least for the Lance. Well, maybe one day I'll sit and lead us all, but don't want to get ahead of myself. Biggest thing is keeping us all employed and food in our bellies and armor on our mechs.
And do you think everyone else would agree with you when it comes to how you view yourself, Eric?
I haven't had anybody make any comments against it. I know the biggest draw of most of us is saying just making sure we get paid. So as long as we keep that payroll going, I'm sure we won't have too many issues.
Scribble, 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 scribble. Looks up and down at you for a moment, kind of goes back down, thinks about it, and yeah. She, you notice that she's like not necessarily making a lot of eye contact with you as this meeting is going on. It's mostly looking down at her like journal that she's writing in, her little like ledger that she has. And she whenever you give answers, she's sort of almost like dismissive of them, just like, oh yeah, yep, people like, okay, food and bellies, yep, almost as though like she's doing this only because someone else asked her, not necessarily because she herself wants to. Goes back and forth a little bit
Fair.
in this moment, and as it goes back and forth for a little bit of a moment, she finally asks, "You fear death. You get into giant machines, sling lead, metal, plasma, rockets, and every time you get into that cockpit, you risk never climbing out of it again."
I look at it as is when it's my time, it's my time. I can't sit here and live in true fear now, just, having respect for the job. And, fear can be a good thing, but you can't let it sit there and bring it down either.
Head back and forth a little bit at that. Still not making eye contact with you. That'll be all, Mr. Eric. Could you send in Nilos next?
Of course. Pleasure talking with you.
Scribble, 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 scribble. Psychological evaluation, nihilist, keep on watch, get medication.
As the door opens,
Oh boy.
you hear Nilos, and fix it like I fucking told you to. And he picks up a wrench out of his pocket, trucks it down the hallway.
Funk, 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 ow! God damn it, that hurt!
That's the point. How you doing?
She, once again, does not make eye contact with you.
He's got the biggest fucking mug of coffee you have ever seen here. You're pretty sure it was a beer stein at one point. It's
No,
just full of coffee.
full of coffee, got you. She does not make eye contact with you, once again. As she is as she's sitting down here with you. And forgive me, I forgot to actually move you guys over to the meeting room. My bad.
Let me see about our HR digs are. Oh, just the meeting room.
You like that? Like that? There you go. There you go. Yeah, really good. Well, we got a little scene here now.
I mean, there's no grenade with a, please take a number on the edge of the desk, but
No,
I'll allow.
it's good. It's good. So she goes back and forth similar in the same way that she did with Eric. Kind of asking like what you do here, etc. But her first question is, what exactly would you say it is you do here within the mercenary company?
Oh, what do I do here then? I do here. Fix that. Fix that. Fix that. Fix that. Fix that. Fix that. I'll fix that. Oh, and on occasion, I get to kill people. It's pretty good. But usually it's fixing stuff.
Scribble, 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 scribble. And why would you say it is, Nilos? May I call you Nilos?
Sure.
Why is it you would say that you enjoy fixing things so much?
Enjoyment's a strong word, but I have a natural affinity for the non-biological. At least I have a manual and understand how it works. People, on the other hand, well, that's another entire matter entirely. As you should probably will have learned. But machines, they tell you what's wrong, fix them, new part, new method, tools, good to go. Appropriate amount of swearing, pretty straightforward.
Nods. She scribbles, 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 still avoiding eye contact, looking everywhere except at you. These questions she's going down. You mentioned people are harder to fix. When's the last time you tried to fix yourself?
Time you got, lady.
As long as you need.
Yeah, I think you will both be dead by heat death of the universe before that one's fixed. It's not necessarily fixing myself. It's understanding people. Just machines are pretty straightforward. People are mercurial. I don't know why I'm dipping back into the fucking southern thing, but we'll
I don't
fucking
know. It's
roll with it.
fine.
It's
I
fun.
just roll with it, man. Roll with it. It's been a while.
Uh,
She presses again the same question, sort of rephrasing it
yeah.
slightly different, as you sort of dodged it a little bit, at least from her perspective. I understand you think machines are easier to fix, but have you ever tried fixing yourself? Do you even think that you need fixing? Or
Oh,
do
I'm
you?
sure. I'm sure you could write a whole stack of books about that, but I haven't really had the time. See, we got shit blown out of us. Go on a mission. I fix stuff. As a kid, just a street rat, get bounced around, thrown out of one place or another. Still trying to learn how to fix shit. School, got the shit kicked out of me. Learned how to fix shit. Finally got out of school, got a job fixing shit. So it's like, hey, I'm finally doing the one thing that I'm good at. So no, I haven't really given it any thought. Maybe if everything stops trying to kill me for 5 minutes, maybe I can put some serious thought to that.
Do you think people are trying to kill you right now? Scribble, 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 scribble.
Yes.
Understood. One final question, Nilos. Completely just a formality. Do you fear death?
Oh, I welcome the day when death gets its meaty little paws around my throat and makes everything go dark. But no, unfortunately, and he waves his cybernetic arm around. I have proven remarkably hard to kill.
The sound makes she goes, very good. Well, that's all the questions I had for now. Would you mind sending in Jonathan?
Yeah, I'll do that. Just takes a
Psychotic,
big ol'
paranoid
ass coffee. Marvelous.
schizophrenic with nihilist tendencies. Scribble, scribble,
He's
scribble,
not
scribble, scribble.
schizophrenic.
The people that want to kill you, are they in the room right now, Nilos? Are they in the room right now?
Well, they're out there somewhere.
All right.
Is
All
it
right.
paranoia if it's true?
All right. Jonathan, you are called into a meeting with our new head of HR.
Oh, you're gonna have fun with this one.
Oh, it's going to be great. Janie. Janie, Janie, Janie. All right. So you notice that she had like kind of a she was like stacking putting away a little tiny stack of papers. As you walk in, Jonathan, she's got like a big stack of papers. Like like really big. Like it looks like a file. Um
Mm,
as you step in and you sit down. Um yeah, Jonathan. She goes and she's like looks up briefly, offers a smile, looks down, and then asks a couple of small talk questions. Would you like some coffee? All that good stuff. Very just, hey, let's get to know you a little bit, like trying to make you feel comfortable. And then finally
Mhm.
she asks, what is it you would say you actually do here within the mercenary company?
You mean outside of, you know, piloting a giant, well, semi-giant, reasonable-sized urban defense platform? Outside of that,
average room temperature adjacent
He
defense
just sort of
platform.
shrugs ever so slightly. In your own words, Jonathan, I'm not here to speak them for you.
well, I tend to give decent enough orders when we're actually down on the ground. I'm not necessarily commander level, but I can think of a good battle plan on the fly. I'm pretty damn good shot with the pistol. Did you hear about when I was able to shoot the wrench out of our local prisoner's hands? That was pretty fucking cool. So I think I'm pretty good at shooting a gun. I'm not exactly a people person, but I can stand in the corner of a room and look scary, which is its own kind of skill. I have also beaten the shit out of a good couple people, so that's also put that on the resume. Yeah, I think I'm pretty decent muscle. That's about it.
She is scribble, 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 scribble. I couldn't help but notice, Jonathan, that everything you said just now was mostly physical in nature,
Mm-hmm.
with a tendency towards violence. You consider
Mhm.
yourself a violent person?
No, but I find myself in a lot of situations that require violence.
Why do you think
I'm
that
not
is?
gonna. I'm a mech warrior. I served in a planetary militia. My father was a tank commander who urged me to join the militia in order to get life skills because the planet I grew up on was a hovel that didn't have colleges on it. So I made the best of a mediocre situation, and people pay me well for it, and I'm not hungry right now. I think that's the best answer I can give. If I could stop killing people, and if there is, in fact, a way to not kill somebody, I will take it. As I have aforementioned said, I shot the wrench out of her hand instead of blowing her fucking brains out.
Nod, 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 scribble, scribble, scribble. So I wonder then, Jonathan, do you think children inherit more than blood? Can grief and duty be passed down like heirlooms?
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple answer. She writes, right, scribble, 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 scribble. There's a question I have for you. About it's about the prisoner you mentioned. This is going to be completely off the record. Do you think she's redeemable?
Sorry, I apologize. I got to look up the exact name.
Lily.
Yeah, Lily and high power muscle are brought up largely from the moment that they have memories to be soldiers. They're fundamentally broken, but no, I don't think she's irredeemable. I think she'll have to try and have to earn our trust, and that's going to take a while, but no. I think she's not irredeemable. I think if given the option, we should keep her in not captivity, keep her under security and keep an eye on her. But she could be a valuable asset. But as soon as I smell something turning, I will not hesitate. I know what she's been through. I know it's tragic, but at the end of the day, she's fucking dangerous. End of
Nods,
the day.
nods, 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 nods. One final question. This one on the record. Do you fear death?
I don't enjoy it. I don't relish in it, but I don't fear it.
Nods. Scribble, 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 scribble. Violent psychotic with sadistic tendencies. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Very well. Could you send in, she shudders, Talos?
Yeah, I'll get right on that. I'll try and drag him in here. Yo, Talos, turns up. You'll enjoy this one. Also, out of character, I gotta go take a leak, so I'll be
Yeah,
right
do your thing,
back.
man. All good. All right, Talos, you walk in and you find yourself very tiny, like you're very small. You've been shrunk. I want you to speak in the highest Mickey Mouse voice you can. Just kidding. You're a mountain of a man. Boom. You sit down, and she like shifts a little nervously as you sit down, almost as though she's like even more uncomfortable than she normally is around like people. Best HR person ever, and she's like got her like face down in her book, her like pen like right there. Just you can just see the top part of her glasses. Talos, may I call you Talos?
Talos looks if she's still looking down at the papers, yeah.
Yeah.
He'll like tap the top of the little ledger, notepad, clipboard, whatever she's got, and kind of lean round so he's trying to get in her eye line.
Yeah. She's leaning back and looks very uncomfortable.
He will give her the biggest shit-eating grin possible and say, "Don't have to be scared of me. We're on the same team."
she she like fixes her glasses and kind of leans back until you like leaning back until you give some space as soon as you
He
do,
he
assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
like
he'll
leans
lean back.
forward and she's like, well, um, well, this is just a formality. I'm doing crew reviews, that company reviews here, and just have a few simple questions. And she goes down just to small talk, offers coffee, all that good stuff as she has. And finally, she asks the question she's asked to everyone: "What is it you would say that you actually do here, Talos?"
He leans back and kind of looks around the room and goes, "Did you ever play what was that game with the paper and the dice and the rich kids used to play it? Minds and Monstrosities. That's the one. And the face character."
She looks genuinely confused as the game master looks right now, and she says, "Would you care to elaborate?"
Yeah, you got the fighter, the the guy who does the spells, the guy who's the one that steals all the stuff, and the guy that does all the talking. I'm the one that does all the talking. Oh, and also the fighting.
Oh, wow. She's scribbling a lot right now. She is scribbling a lot in her notebook. The pen is not stopping. Right. So you consider yourself a leader type?
Why am I supposed to be?
I don't know. You tell me.
Um, I mean, if Eric says that I'm supposed to be the leader, then I guess I'm supposed to be the leader. Did Eric say that I've got to be the leader? I probably shouldn't be the leader.
You're a fucking chaos goblin, Steve.
Chaos. Good news.
She's just like scribble, 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 and she just simply says no. But she scribbles, 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 goes back and forth. One of the things that's missing from your file, Talos, one of the things that I feel is important to add, just so we have a good psychological profile. Why did you choose to ride a hover bike into combat with multi-ton mechs? I mean, don't take this the wrong way, with all due respect. One errant missile, a burst of machine gun fire, some liquid plasma, you would have been dead. What? Why? Is my only question.
Why what? Why wouldn't I take Bessie? I always go with everywhere. It's the quickest thing on two wheels.
Because you could have died horribly with very little recourse.
Oh, it's only Tuesday.
Scribble, 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 scribble. All right, just one final question, and I feel like I already know the answer to it. Do you fear death?
He leans forward and puts like both arms on the table and goes, "Janine, it's probably death that should fear me. But hey, that's a question for another day.
Scribble,
We
scribble,
done here?"
scribble, 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 scribble. Quite so. Could you send in Elantra, please? She has just a really worried look on her face as Talos walks out.
He pauses in
Leandra,
the doorway
please.
for a moment
Yeah.
and just kind of leans in and goes, "Catch you later."
I was really hoping, like, what do you do here? I was really hoping Talos of Alls would go, I get paid, and they just walk out. But he didn't do it.
I'm the face man.
Still priceless.
It was a beautiful moment. Thank you for that. I don't know what to fucking say. Let's go what you're
Mine's
saying.
monstrosities.
Yeah. Mine's monstrosities. All right. She sits down and finally she actually looks up and makes eye contact with someone, Leandra, for whatever reason. Maybe it's because you're a girl. Maybe it's because after that after speaking with that monstrosity right before she needs to look at another human being and remind herself she's not in hell. With that being said, makes small talk, offers coffee, does what she's been doing with everyone else, And finally, as those sort of pleasantries settle down, she asks a simple question: Leandra, what would you say it is you do here within the mercenary company?
Hey, Jenny. I'm just looking for two things. The first thing is I'm trying to figure out information for myself. There's something brewing in the sphere, and I'm trying to understand what's going on. There seems to be something bigger at foot. And the other thing is, I'm just trying to lay low and make some money within the company.
Do you elaborate on what you mean by something big?
Yeah. You know, I had I trained with Comstar and worked with Comstar for a bit, and they are definitely after something, and we're trying to, or at least I'm trying to figure out what is it that they're after. They seem to have gone to a lot of lengths to source this lost tech or this extra technology, and it's got to be in preparation for something, or there's something else out there. Maybe it's something beyond just the five houses and the mercenary companies. So that's what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for.
She looks down at her notes and then like looks back up to you and then down at her notes again and says, I know this isn't the most professional thing to say, but you sound a little bit like a conspiracy theorist.
I think Comstar does that to people. It's not the first time I've been told that.
And how long have you had these thoughts that there's something bigger going on?
Leandro just stayed silent.
As you stay silent, she looks down at her notes again, makes some scribbles, looks back up at you, scribbles a little bit more, looks back down. Well, how would you say you're getting on here aboard the ship? Any issues, disagreements with any of the other crew, leadership? You do know this is a safe place where you can air any grievances or any other concerns you might have.
Listen, Janie, you're a little bit newer than us veterans here. We've seen a lot of our friends die. I think we're doing okay just now, just fine now, floating in space, getting on with things.
Scribble, 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 scribble. Paranoid delusions. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Man, she's gonna have a meeting with the fucking captain and be like, "So everyone's crazy," and he's gonna say, "I didn't pay you to tell me what I already know." Like, it is what it is. She finally
Everyone's
goes,
crazy. Yeah, no shit. You think if they were sane, they would still be here doing
That
this?
was the
No,
exact thought in my
no,
head.
absolutely not.
all right. So finally, after everything goes on, she doesn't press again about the Comstar conspiracy, as it were, the CC. She finally asks the question she's asked everyone else: Do you fear death?
Leandra looks Janie straight in the eyes and she says, I don't fear death, and I don't think you'll find anybody on this ship who fears death. What we fear is emptiness, and what we fear is not having duty or something to fulfill. Anyone who answers yes to that question, you send them to us, and we can show them where the airlock is. And she gets up, and then I don't know if you want me to roll for this, but she's going to say, this is, by the way, I've learned a trick which you don't, even though I've been to the Comstar Officers Academy when we learn a lot of things, this is something that I learnt from being the daughter of a CEO of a large media conglomerate and a large media magnate. And she's going to go onto like one of the consoles and do something that'll short circuit or lock or encrypt her data pad.
Oh, like her personal data pad or whose data pad?
Well, the one that she's been like typing on for the five previous interviews,
Oh,
basically.
okay. So it's actually been just like pen and paper, like actual
Oh,
pen
it's
and
just
paper. Yeah.
oh, what? Wolf, it's the 30th century. Like,
Yeah, well, paper records, man. Sometimes it is what it is. Maybe she keeps paper records so fucking little narky spies like you can't fuck with them.
Maybe she has paper records because we spent all of our money on lubricants
Yeah.
and 10 millimeter
I asked
sockets.
for an iPad, but they said they needed more DACA, so here we are.
Yup.
Just saying, I can't fire your iPad out of an
You know
AC
what?
10. I mean, I could
She can
once.
have a small data pad on the desk as well that locks down, and she looks at it and then looks back to you and then looks at it and says, "Why?"
Um, well, it was really more for this is after character. This was more for scrambling the interview. But I guess here she'll say, um, "This is so that you can come find me and I can interview you later."
And she'll just be like, "Right, right.
I like to imagine
Thank you
why
for your
can't I,
time."
why don't I have a data
All
pad?
this,
Because Talos can't smash a piece of paper. That's why.
all of a sudden,
There's
spaghetti
a
starts pouring out of Leandra's pockets. Like, oh god, no!
Wow. I've learned so much about each of your characters here in the last 15, 30 minutes or so. That I didn't know
Talos
that
didn't come off with the crazy one.
Yeah, Talos was actually probably the most well-adjusted of everyone, and that's saying
wow.
something. We got paranoid schizophrenic, we got delusionals of grandeur, we got fucking narcissistic, psychotic, like this is bad. This is good for a Merc company, but this is bad. This is bad. Yep. All right. Good.
I'm just the ultimate pragmatist here.
I
I
mean, it's
know
good.
that I'm carrying a fucking gun, and I know how to use it, and I know when not to use it.
Beautiful.
So she's doing these workups on every member of the crew, right? Not just
Every
us.
single one. Every member of the
How
crew.
long before we make fucking trading cards?
Fuck. I don't know, man. It's up to you guys.
That would be great.
Entirely up to you guys. That's good. That's fucking good. All right. We are gonna cut over to a scene actually in the dropship bridge. Good old dropship bridge. The good old lass
Shitty sequel to
is
Heartbreak Ridge.
at the her name is, I believe we'd call her Skylar. Skylar is at the bridge. Just has the drop ship in a kind of like low orbit around this planet. You guys have just been sort of chilling for a little bit. And as you enter in, I'm gonna have this scene be with let's do Eric. And I feel like second in command, it just feels like Jonathan. I don't know. That just feels right to me. Jonathan. Jonathan. So the two of you have been basically asked to come and speak with your new logistics guy, who is, I believe we called him Sori Tanaka, basically, was the name. Does that sound right? Tanaka? Okay, perfect. Tanaka. So he will like fix his glasses, and as he fixes his glasses, he's got like a cigarette sort of just dangling from the corner of his mouth. He's this guy that is like always smoking. Like always smoking. Like if he's smoking a cigarette, he's in the process of trying to light another one kind of smoker. Like just chain smoking guy. You ask the fucking HR why she doesn't have an iPad because of all the money he spends, the C-bills he spends on cigarettes. All right? That's where we're at. But as you two are welcomed in, your commander, Eklov, gives you a quick nod, and he, mentions that he's going to be, introducing you. Eric, Jonathan, I'd like to introduce you to our new head of logistics and, I suppose, operations, Tanaka. Tanaka? He bows his head ever so slightly. It is good to meet you both. You may call me.
Welcome aboard.
What's that?
Welcome aboard.
Yes. Thank you. My last mercenary company found itself, well, not dissimilar to the way that yours was, although it was less betrayal and more our own hubris that got the better of us. As my discussions have been with your commander here, Mr. Eklov, I bring a sense of pragmatism to this crew, both from the mistakes of my own past as well as desires not to die a fiery death. I'm sure you all can understand.
Of course.
The question that I wanted to speak with you all about is as follows. I have only been aboard the vessel for a week or so. You likely have seen me in passing, but formal introductions have not taken place until this moment. With that being said, I wonder what you can tell me of the mood of the crew. Things they are asking for but do not have, things they do not have and do not know they want. I am asking you to be my eyes and ears so that I can keep them content, if not happy.
Well,
Well,
I think the big one so far, given that we've only just done one mission, is we need to have some actually cooked meals on this place. Right now, everybody's getting real sick of MREs, so an actual line to getting uh, relatively perishable food would be appreciated. I don't know
I'll
how
bring
we're
in what
gonna
I
do
can.
that. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do that when we're out in space, but surely we can get some get a grocery run on when we reach our next industrial world. Uh,
I'll be
some of
sure to pass on my contracts from that.
we might need some improved tools for the mech bay. The ones that were loaded up on here were not our best equipment; they were our lightest equipment, so we might need a little bit more in that regard. And speaking personally, I'm looking at upgrading from an urban mech to something a bit heavier. We'll need to I don't know. I will need to look into what exactly is available in the area. But
Skylar
right
from the
now,
cockpit, like just without turning back, just kind of like speaks up. She goes, "Walking Death Trap not doing it for you anymore, bub?"
no, not particularly. And also, if I'm going to be heading to the front lines and actually walking with the lance, uh, the slightly ambling at Death Trap is not really useful.
I can only lead so many enemies into your guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you know a Mechwarrior pilot is an urban mech pilot?
What's that?
Standing before his grave, she just bursts out laughing. She thinks it's the funniest fucking thing in the entire world. No one
Okay.
else is laughing.
What is she? She is the dropship pilot, right?
Correct.
Right.
You want to know what the biggest worry a dropship pilot has to think about?
Oh, I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
Whether the AC works or not.
Oh, oh, coming
I
in
was
hot, coming out.
waiting for the chair force joke.
Your next fucking drop off's gonna be rough. She might tip the drop ship just to have you fall out.
Oh boy.
Oh, she laughs at that though. Honestly, she likes the back and forth. She likes a little bit of sass back. She seems to respect it. That's good. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She not the Tanaki. Excuse me, not Tanaki.
Tanaka?
Tanaka, that's what I said. You can't convince me otherwise. We'll fix it in post. Tanaka though nods and offers a very muted sort of like blanks, like a very blank sort of smirk, and then he nods and says, "Anything else you can think of?"
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to getting a salad in. I'm sure Taos could appreciate that little vehicle over his hover bike. Gives a nice big gun. Can't say argue too much with an AC-20, and it moves quick.
Nods, nods, thinking. Very good. Yes, the practical things, more weapons, more guns, but a mercenary company, as I have come to realize over my many years of service amongst more than half a dozen companies. It takes more than ammunition, more than metal and steel, more even still than grit to keep a company together. It takes a sense of brotherhood, a kind of camaraderie that only comes not from just shedding blood in battle, but from sharing moments of serenity and peace with your comrades. I'm asking, what do you think the crew needs to feel more connected?
That is a tough question. I mean, we're still kind of getting used to each other as it is. Not to say we need to go do some trust falls or anything, but continue to do some simulator work will get us some built up teamwork, kind of more to what we expect of each other.
Yeah, I
And with
mean,
other stuff, jobs come up, and hope we can get some more work going in that direction. Because only fills our belly for so long from this last one. Hopefully, for something more legitimate.
yeah, I mean, there's only so many ways you can get people to come together, and I don't know. I feel like after we've fled our base getting bombed, after we've managed to keep uh, 4 mechs and a hover bike together with about only gaffer tape and tack welds. I think unit cohesion is actually in a fairly good place, and even unit morale is in a reasonable place given the situation. I feel like it is mainly just a broad supply issue that we need to get addressed, and again, a more sturdy connection to the MRB in order to get more I want to say actual jobs because the job we did last time involved the king crab, but more above board work.
Understood.
100% agree with you, man.
So it is more of a practical thing.
If
Warriors
we're not
need
registered,
warriors need war, and you wish for us to provide it for you.
if we're now registered with the MRB, do you guys want to describe the livery, like maybe the livery and the uniforms, is something we can ask Tanaka?
I mean, like we can, but I think like we would have to actually. I think once we get signed up with the MRB, then we should spend money on the uniforms. I think we'll just bring up that we need new uniforms, and possibly when we get signed up, we might want something more custom done
New clothing, yes.
to feel special.
A new suit, some shoes, a pair of slacks goes a long way to making a person feel like one. Very good.
Really be a part of the team.
I thank you both for your time. If you should think of anything else, or come across anything else that might be helpful in ensuring I perform my duty to the utmost capability possible.
I think looking at how Straban has been struggling with keeping up with certain aspects of the mech bay, we might want more mech techs to assist out to help spread out the load, prevent him from getting overworked.
Well, it
That
ain't
was
gonna have
one
to
of the things
be.
I was thinking.
Well, I was gonna say. Well, the original quote I was is he wanted, and I quote, a barrel of magic fucking monkeys to help him with all this broken shit. He's fine doing high level stuff, but like he's getting dragged around because we lost most of our engine. Like he's spending time on like fucking shitter's broken. It's like we should have a guy for that, like a guy whose job it is to do basic maintenance. I shouldn't be getting pulled off whatever to go do that. That's his kind of. He's running ragged. Uh, if we had gotten to that point, he would have explained it. But yeah, that's his general feeling is, how are you doing? And then wrench comes through the doorway. It's like,
Tonk.
that bad, huh? Also, he needs more throwing wrenches.
Yeah. Also,
I say we're running short on wrenches. No wonder they're arguing so
He's that
much.
Russian admiral that would keep throwing binoculars overboard.
Those are expensive. Can't do
Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah.
Well,
Could use some like menial level, like low level guys, even guys that are willing to learn. Like they're cheap, dime a dozen.
Speaking of guys that are willing to learn, we're gonna cut to a scene over in the crew quarters of the dropship, where you are gonna meet a character I don't think we've seen presently, but does indeed exist. This is Trevor Markle. Trevor Markle. He is a mech tech, and presently he has his head underneath a desk. he is cursing to himself while Ren is sitting on a barrel and just kind of like dangling her feet. And she's like, "You don't want to touch that. No, that wire. Nope, nope. You're gonna shock you. Oh, fucking god damn it, motherfucking son of a fuck! I warned you." And you're gonna walk around the corner, Mister Nilos, Mister
Mhm.
Strabon. You're gonna walk around the corner, and you're gonna see two of your mech techs, some of your better mech techs, fiddling with something. It looks like it might be, because I think it's funny, the goddamn AC in here. Looks like it might be the AC unit. And she's just kind of kicking her feet, and she like looks over in your direction and just smiles and has like a like a fucking lollipop or something, and she's just like takes it out, kind of like nods to you, and then puts it back in her mouth, and she's just like kicking her feet, and you just see this guy's feet sticking out like in his lower torso, and he's like, "I didn't sign on this fucking stupid, not even a fucking mercenary company to fucking fix AC units. I came here to fix big ass giant stompy robots. This is demeaning. This is below me." And you know what? I he's standing right
While
outside.
he's while he while he's in the
He's
vents.
standing right next to me, isn't he?
I was gonna give you something else.
Go 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 no go 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 go.
I was gonna say while he's bitching and complaining, like Straven's just like quiet, sneaks up, gets right beside the vent, and goes, "Fire! Fire! Fire!"
Ah,
and just
damn it! Dong!
clang! Yeah,
Clang.
exactly.
Just comes out, big red mark on his forehead, looks over, and he's like, "God fucking damn it! Oh, hello, sir." He stands up, kind of brushes himself off a little bit. She hops off.
I am not a sir. I do not get paid enough for that.
Yeah, all right. Strabon, Nilos, right. Look, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I realize I was working at a mech loading bay kind of thing, with work mechs, not actual mechs,
Mhm.
as it were. But
Mhm.
come on, man, fixing
Oh no.
AC units, the toilet was
Oh, I get
backed
it.
up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
am I a fucking janitor or am I a mech tech?
Oh, what do you think I did for you guys?
Not
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah. No.
not to be
Mm-hmm.
that guy saying that janitors aren't, useful people, but
Mm-hmm.
bullshit.
Oh, I've made my complaints well aware. There's a hierarchy of bitching. It goes up, not down. You bitch to me, I bitch to my superior officer, so forth, so on.
Well, are we gonna be hiring any more, you know, bitch workers?
So right now, you're the bitch worker.
Bullshit.
That's the beautiful thing. I have no fucking idea.
Why can't she be the bitch worker? She goes, "Because I've been here longer." He's like, "That's a dumb reason, and I'm better at your job than you." That's a good reason, he says.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I feel for the poor guy.
He's like fidgeting a little bit, looks down at the AC unit. "Could you, Nilos, not sir, could you take a look at this with me? I can't figure out why it stopped
Mm-hmm.
blowing
Mm-hmm.
clear.
There's a great scene. Anybody who's seen the movie, the Deepwater Horizon movie, where like he's asking, "Oh, what's wrong?" And he just starts listing off every fucking thing. Goes everything but the shitters, and he goes, He's like, "I'm not a plumber. I don't do shitters. That's engineering." It's a great scene. I'll think of it later, but yeah. So yeah, I'll look at it with them and
Yeah.
just be like,
Let's
you
make a
know,
roll. We have many rolls so far today. Give me
probably,
a
first roll. Can't wait to fuck it up for everybody.
go ahead. Skill check.
We'll do technician,
Do
right?
a DC. I'll do.
I'd like to give
3d6.
guidance.
Guys, you're not here.
It's
You're
a
not
6.
here.
You have like an engineering, repair.
I have technician straight up.
Perfect technician.
Uh,
Roll them bones,
yeah.
baby bird.
Yeah, I have an 8 technician, so I'd have to
Beautiful.
critically fail to
Those are
fail that.
beautiful.
But
Yeah. So you know exactly what it is. There is a wire that has somehow jostled loose, and the reason it's not blowing cold air is because it's not blowing at all. The air is just everything's just kind of like condensating like up in there, and there's like you can see like the unit is like half frozen. You'll have to like chip off some of the ice because it wasn't cycling properly. I'm not an HVAC technician, so just take what I say with a grain of salt here. But the thingamadoo isn't whatchamacallit.
fucking Nilos looks at the tools they have out, grabs a propane torch, lights that fucker, whatever equivalent propane torch,
Yeah.
and melts the ice off the condenser with a propane torch. But doesn't let it get too hot, so it doesn't melt the solder.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Real world plumbing knowledge.
Good,
Okay,
it's good. And you guys managed to fix it He's very grateful. He says thanks, and then he does ask, "Have you heard any news, Nilos, about, you know, the company actually doing some company work? Or are we just gonna keep floating in space?"
Well, we just
I'm getting
onboarded
a
a
little
whole bunch of
antsy.
new people, so hopefully we'll have to get back into the voice. It's bugging me. So we'll have to see about that, but I think things will come down. I'm not the only one getting restless. Trust me, it's not just you guys, it's everybody. Everybody's getting a little fidgety. We got a little too long without killing something.
Ren puts her hand on Trevor's shoulder and just gives him like a look that Nilos, you can tell, is just that look. And he looks over and he's like, "Yeah, we're all getting a little antsy. You're right."
You have you met HR yet?
No, I've got a meeting with her in like 30 minutes. Ren, like, Ren says, "That's enough time." And he's like, "Can we be excused, sir? I've got a thing with a, there's a
Uh huh.
broken, yep, all right,
Uh
bye."
huh.
And the two of
Uh
them
huh.
just doop to doop to doop to doop to doop down the hallway. Doop to doop to doop to doop to do whatever it is adults do in their free time.
He just looks at this AC unit and just
Blowing cold air now.
why? He's like, I'm fucking paid enough for this shit. Just like slams the thing and like walks.
As soon as you
What was it?
slam and you walk away, we see a scene of just the AC unit go ka-tung, 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 and stop working again.
Yeah. Well, the story I want to say to try. You know what the big stompy robots have? They have big AC
They
units as
do.
well.
They absolutely
Yeah.
do have big
But they
AC.
have the fun AC units.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. All right, we're gonna cut to another scene. Talos, you are gonna find yourself none other, none other than in the restroom because I think that's funny. I think that's fucking goddamn hilarious. And as you find yourself in the bathroom, you hear someone else come in, you hear him turn on the faucet, you hear him, like, splashing water on his face, and you hear the voice of Carruthers. And he's probably like, you can just see him through the crack in like the stall. You can just kind of see like his backside. He's just like got like looking at the mirror, like, what the fuck am I doing here? What's going on? There's this moment of like he's having an existential crisis. And I'm gonna flavor this as to where you're a big guy. Maybe you like accidentally elbow the wall and make some noise, and he turns around and goes, "Hey, who the fuck's in there?" He doesn't say anything. Fucking.
No, I think you just hear the he's a big guy, and it's
That's so fucking stupid. You just hear bloop. He's like, "Oh dear God. Oh, what the fuck? Oh God. Oh, you gotta
and then
warn
you
a
hear
guy. Oh, it smells like burnt leathery bacon wrapped in
and then you hear
in
Talos
decay."
chuckling to himself.
It's like, "You son of a bitch. Oh fuck.
What do you expect me
Why?"
eating all these MREs?
Here I was gonna try to have a heartfelt moment, but I think we're just gonna end it right there. That's fucking. He's just angry. He's like, "You're a son of a bitch, Talos. I know that was you. You fucking son of a bitch." Just Talos just fucking chuckling to himself like, you're fucking little chaos goblin. Fucking little chaos fucking goblin. You love to see it. Literally cannot argue with that. Cannot argue with that. All right. In this particular next scene, this is actually going to be in one of the rooms that has been reconnoitered as a kind of, how do I put this? It's been reconnoitered as a kind of temporary. I know we said airlock. All right. I feel like you've been using the airlock enough to where like it doesn't make sense to keep her in the airlock. So she's going to be given not a nice room. It's a closet. Okay, it's a closet. But Lily has been sent to the closet. All right. And in this particular scene, Leandra, you're actually on watch duty with Lily. Watch duty with Lily. And Lily's been, despite herself, pretty fucking quiet of late. Not a whole lot to say, not complaining, just sort of like laying in the bed, you know, like with her hands behind her head, staring at the ceiling. Maybe she's like bundled up a pair of her socks and like to like a ball, and she's tossing it in the air, catching it, tossing it in the air, catching it. And you're stationed just like outside of her room. There's a little like slide thing so you can see inside. And you've been here for maybe 5-10 minutes. You know, you take shifts, different people watch, etc. Hour here, hour there. You know, see if she's gonna say anything. And she says, "Who's my? How would she put this, Lily? I gotta get in Lily's head really quick. Lily, who's overseeing the white-haired terror this evening? It is evening, or is it day? I'm sort of starting to lose track of time."
What is time?
It's an illusion.
I mean, I'm just gonna be like, it's Leandra this time. You
Oh,
know, we
she's
never did
nice.
thank you for that tip off on Connaught, was it? Our mission, our previous mission, I
Sounds
think.
right.
So yeah. We never thanked you for that tip off. That it's done as well over this past month.
Well, it seems I am at the whim and fancy of this little ragtag group of would-be mech warriors. If I can aid in your survival, it does well that my own survival will at least last until you decide to throw me out an airlock. You're welcome, but I'll be the first to admit it was more self-serving than it was selfless.
I'll be happy to know that we have collectively as a crew decided not to throw her out of an airlock, but fire her out of a cannon.
Ben,
Catharsis.
Yeah, we got lucky. We found a Gauss rifle to do.
could I
No, we found like a 36-pounder just floating in space.
Oh God.
could I ask you a question, Leandra?
Sure, Lily. What's up?
She pauses for a while, and you just hear the soft like up, catch, up, catch, up, catch. If you could be anywhere but here, and I mean anywhere but here right now, where would you choose to be? Sea bills be damned. No responsibility, no one to come looking for you. Where would you choose to be, Leandra?
Then I'm just gonna look at Lily and go, well, honestly, we were. Well, sorry, I was brought up on the close to Terra, and I think everything else not being a problem as it currently is, I would just be back on. I don't have a planet. I'd be back on. Let's just say Terra. I'd be back on Terra with my family on our estate, just looking at those green hills and just listening to nature. Um, everything else being equal. It's funny how silent the universe and how silent everything else is compared to being on a planet where you can listen to the streams and hear the birds and hear the animals.
Silence of the Void is a bit loud, isn't it, sister?
Well, definitely when it's full of pulsing lasers and Gauss rifle explosions for sure.
Chuckles and rises, heading over towards the door where there is that sort of little like area where you can look through. One of the little slide things been put in there to like look in, and maybe one for food. Because you can't really trust this woman. She is a martial artist, and could probably kill you with a toothpick, but maybe not. She did get her shit kicked in. It was pretty great. Um, she like gets really close, close to where if you weren't a smart woman, maybe she could do something, but she doesn't at this point. And she says, "And what's stopping you? I mean, this this can't be how you envisioned your life. on the run, wondering where the next meal is going to be coming from, and don't mistake this for judgment, Leandra. I fully accept my part in all of this, the hand that I had bringing you to here. God be from me to judge, but what's stopping you and going back to those blue skies, those green rolling hills, that silence?
I can't show my face to my family again. Not at the moment. Especially not with my cousin currently taking over the family empire. They will just shame me, and I can't go back until I've regained my honor, or until I've regained at least an idea of why Comstar is running around is running around the inner sphere looking for stuff that it shouldn't be looking for, or what's going on.
He grins as you mention Comstar and what's going on and what's happening. How do you know about that? She asks, somewhat playfully.
And Leandra's going to go actually quite close now to the slot and look at
Ooh.
Lily straight into her eyes.
Breath to breath,
Yeah, breath to
nose to
breath.
nose. Yeah, I love it.
I was there.
She offers like a very cheeky grin. What if I could tell you, Leandra? Answers to questions you have. Questions that very few others know the answers to. Let's just say you're not the only one that's been looking into their dealings. She smiles very slyly, and again, you guys are breath to breath. She's not giving ground, you're not giving ground. She lets this question hang in the air, just waiting for your answer.
Where can I find them?
Leans back ever so slightly. I'm actually a bit tired, but you should pick up this conversation, Leandra, when next we speak. Maybe you and I could help one another. Goes back to the bed, lays down, picks up her sock ball, and starts tossing in the air again.
Leandra's going to say, I think she's just going to turn around at this point.
Let it
And
lie.
then
Let it
go
lie.
back to,
I like
yeah,
it.
and
Good,
go
good,
back to
good. Good. Ka-chunk, 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 as it were. All right, we're going to cut now to, I want to give you guys each a moment. Do you have any scenes you'd like to have with each other? With any particular NPCs? I want to kind of open it up. Those were a couple of the scenes I wanted to have. I've got a few more in mind before, as we continue this session. But do you have any scenes you have with one another or NPCs you'd like to have? Go ahead, tell us.
Who would be taking Talos under their wing to teach him how to pilot a mech?
Love that. Great question.
I mean, I've already taught it. What was it that we had a little thing where, I mean, we've hung out because we both have an interest in motorcycles, but and we're both from Solaris, obviously, so that's natural. But I thought I taught you something before already, or we'd at least gone over some stuff.
We haven't done anything in game really.
It was just a passing,
very
what are you
much in
guys
passing.
doing? Oh, I'm teaching him how to use a
Yeah,
toaster.
this is the
not burn
forward,
himself.
this is the back, this is the button to shoot things.
Yeah. It was. It might have even been a mech. It was some very basic, here's
that
how to
button.
not die horribly.
Hit that button.
Yeah.
Things in front go boom.
No, it was that because I remember I specifically set up a radio channel for him to have with Straben at all times, so that if he had a question, Straben's there. It's like an open comms channel between the two of them, to kind of ease his nerves or something like that. So,
so I guess
Sure, we got a simulator somewhere.
yeah, I'm sure we do. Probably a standard thing on drop ships, no?
Yeah.
And I think Leandra and Ren, they'll probably be working on a kind of a Mech OS light version for Talos. So it's kind of the minimalist HUD with just literally just like like the mech,
Only the things
just
that he
green,
needs.
orange, and red, basically.
This is your gun. It is not a bashing implement. That's the other gun.
Yeah, so I think
That one's cheaper.
I think in our time that we've been traveling from A to B,
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing Nylos and would be, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
Talos is gonna begrudgingly realize that he needs to not be on a bicycle.
well, before at least it was a hey, we need bodies, and now it's like, okay, well, this is a situation.
Yeah.
You're still more qualified than like everybody else. So yeah, we could go more into depth, and even to bring in the, I maybe would bring in one of the other guys that knows stuff a bit better, and then I don't want to say convert it to dumb, but like I'm like, all right, take the complicated thing, make it slightly easier just to get you going, and then once you're going, fucking hand you off. It's like, all right, you got the basics. That's now you're someone else's problem. Maybe. I mean, we do have a lot of downtime, but although too, he's been fixing shit, so I don't, it's how much time do we have?
Lots of toilets to be fixed. It's true.
That ain't my job. I ain't doing that shit.
So
I'm sure we're
I'm
trying
not
not to do
intended.
the fire hose approach.
With you guys standing before a mech. I think let's have everyone there. I want to have everyone in this scene as the core group has rallied together to try and teach the biker how to be a mech pilot. Talos, as if you are being surrounded by your friends. You are surrounded by your friends. Take it away, folks. How do you explain to a biker who doesn't like big, giant, stompy robots, who agreed as a player to play in a campaign with giant, big, stompy robots, and doesn't want to be the big, giant, stompy robots? How do you convince him, in character and out of character, to be in a big, stompy robot?
Here's what we have to do. So before this happens, when he's off, I don't know, eating lunch or smashing something with a chair, I don't know, whatever he does in his free time, jerking off probably, honestly.
Oh, hey,
look,
not my Christian Minecraft server.
Not your Christian Minecraft, your Christian dropship. Okay. But he gets Shriven gets everyone else together. He's like, all right, you know who we're dealing with. Don't treat him like an idiot. But if you overwhelm him, he's liable to punch you. He's liable to punch you in the face. I'm just saying, you've been warned. Also, no one make this sound like a permanent thing. Be like, oh yeah, as soon as we get a tank, as soon as we get literally anything else, just don't tell him he's stuck with this. Because it could be true. We don't know. Just don't let him know that. You'll freak him out. Again, punch you in the face. You've been forewarned.
We'll make the dervish work.
Wait.
Everybody get a little woosah.
Is that what he meant by him being the face man? He punches people in faces?
Yeah.
God,
I thought that was blatantly obvious.
Oh, it was so good. I'm the face man.
Have you met Talos? Have you met Talos?
It's so good.
Yeah, if Eric says that he punches him in the face.
It's real cheap plastic surgery.
A game with Steve before.
I would just like this point for the fact, and this is going to freak Wolf out more than anybody else. In our Cyberpunk game, Steve was the reasonable one.
He was the what?
That sounds glorious.
The reasonable one. The rest of us were just straight up sociopaths.
Impossible. I don't believe that at all. And
it's Cyberpunk. It's pretty easy to be crazy.
He plays a crazy person.
Oh, we were all crazy. He was just the least crazy.
We should be a well-rounded, good bunch of individuals that with no character defects at all.
They were features. When it's that big of a flaw, it's not a flaw. It's a feature.
Yeah, I imagine that as the four of you are kind of gathered there, and Straban's giving you this kind of a bit of a pep talk. Talos kind of walks in with like, I don't know, a gigantic bag of crisps that, like an American-sized bag of crisps that's meant for 1 million people. He's got just walking and just like shoveling.
Where are you getting these crisps, and where can I get them?
Probably in my secret stash.
What's going on?
You mean you're not supposed to eat a bag of chips as an entire meal? I've been doing it wrong.
That's why he's hiding in the bathroom, like his Talos' secret stash.
Don't eat crisps on the shitter. Come on.
I'm just flashing to that scene from I know it's not 0G right now, but scene from The Simpsons. Careful, they're ruffled.
That's really funny.
Oh boy.
It always comes back around to The Simpsons. Full circle. Simpsons did it first.
Simpsons did it. Yeah, Talos walks in, shovels crisp into his face, and then with a mouthful of crisp goes, What's going on? Why is everybody here? Why am I here?
We're here to help you out, man. Get you at least a little more familiar with this wonderful
We're
missile thrower.
Steve. This is an intervention. We're here for you.
In your horrible, crippling crisp addiction.
Whew.
No, it's horrible, crippling bike addiction. Bringing a bike to a gunfight.
There's no such thing.
Bringing a
No
bike,
such thing.
bringing a bike to a mech fight. Never a
Giant
good thing.
robot fight.
So what is the mech that's in front of us again? Is it the
Dervish.
Dervish? Okay, which
Yeah.
is like
Yeah, that's the-
moderate speed, right?
Yeah,
It's the one that was like Simi set up as a missile boat. Was that how we convinced him to do it?
It is a muscle boat. 2 LRM 10s, 2 SRM 2s, like 1 medium laser, and I want to say it's a 4.6.
4.6.
Movement.
Okay, so moderately fast, but not
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
Lotus
I
or
like fast.
Well, because we wanted him to shoot and then scoot
yeah.
and then shoot again was the
Yeah.
idea, I think. Because if it was too slow, it would be like we could get him in it.
So Jonathan is gonna go up to Talos and say, "Look, man, I get it. You're a raw speed dude. You're into like going the fastest you can on your bike. I get it. Trust me. There's nothing gives you a greater sense of speed and tactile, like dialed inness, than being in a mech sprinting and then pivoting and then reassessing your firing solution. There's nothing like it. We can get you into the sim to get you hooked on that, but you may not be topping out at over what your bike can do. You will feel fucking fast, dude.
Is everybody else going to be slow?
I'm gonna be slow.
Comparatively? Yeah, actually, yeah. Think about it. Yeah, no, you would be the fastest one.
No, actually, the Wolverine actually moves
I'm
5.8.
gonna clamp my fist on his mouth.
Wait. What did he say about something that was faster?
It's slightly faster, but it can't fire a fuckload of missiles or something.
Technically,
This
it's
is true.
same. It's actually the same speed because the Wolverine is also 4.6, and on top of that,
Wolverine
he's
is
going to
5.8.
be slapped him.
5.85.
I slapped
Got
this
it.
man.
Yeah, but see,
dare you down-
his doesn't have to carry around your massive brass balls. So
There is that.
really, you've got the better power to weight ratio.
plus he's the one who's going to be the line mech. He's not supposed to move that fast. He's supposed to move in the center of the formation.
Yeah, you'll figure we're doing the same thing. Get a good vantage point.
Lob missiles.
Light off a ton of missiles. Scoot to the next spot. Same thing, just don't outrage everybody. It's, try to make it temporary. It's just needs must and all that. We don't exactly have any like gestures around. So we don't exactly have a whole bunch of tanks floating around here right now.
We'll look at getting you something like a Saladin or Locust or something else that's even faster than this. But for the moment, this will help us out the most while also getting you more acquainted with the mech framework.
I
mean,
imagine that
You got
Talos
lots of armor.
Talos looks around the group, and then I imagine that they've all got like a little ladder or something that you normally climb up to get into the cockpit. Imagine that the ladder isn't there, or it's on the other side. So Talos like just climbs up the leg,
Hell yeah.
and tries to open the door, but the door's on the other side. So just kind of hauls himself up and looks inside and sees that you've done some modification. Goes, where did all the other buttons go? Do I not need those buttons? Why did you put the buttons in there if they're not needed? Seems like a lot
The
of
other
wasted
buttons
energy.
are linked up to usually auxiliary weapon systems. So, for instance, the AC might be linked to the trigger button, and then you'll have the top press button linked to medium laser or something like that. You don't
Diagnostic
need
bullshit.
yeah.
Do you want to do diagnostics? I don't think so.
Plus, these missiles are just set to chain fire. You only have one trigger pull to be worried about.
So I just press the red button.
You
Yeah.
see something, you lock onto something, you hit the button to remove that something from the face of existence.
Okay.
We can
You'll
give
get
you
a nice golden glow when they get a good lock.
we
And
can
there is
give you a
a
test run if you want.
We've also rigged it up. We've also rigged it up so that when you hit the accelerator, it still makes a nice, like really high, like big bore 2-stroke sound, kind of like your bike does, just for for the feels.
and
It
then there's
vibrates
a,
nice and good right there at the crotch. Yeah, you know how it goes.
a big 2-stroke hover bike.
Hell yeah, dude. Be metal as fuck.
and then there's a big blue button on the right hand
The-
side, which says
The
we
the phrase "big bore 2-stroke" makes me feel tingly in just the weirdest of ways. I'm terrified, yet also,
Excited.
and then
excited.
there's a big button marked wheelie, and then it's actually why it's a jump jets, basically.
There's
like jets full power. That's only one button. Only one button.
if we needed a tagline for this session, it would be "There is no EPA in space."
Shit.
I can't with you fucking guys. It is so fucking funny. All right, so you guys are explaining to him, pointing out the buttons. I would like everyone to, in character, give Talos one piece of advice, like really good, heartfelt advice on how to be a good mech pilot and not die in the cockpit. Let's start with Eric. What's your one piece of advice you give him? Like a dad seeing his son off to college. Don't be a fool, son. Rep your tool. Like that kind of thing.
Just because you have the full heat scale doesn't mean you need to use the whole full heat scale.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah. Just because you have the full heat scale doesn't mean you need to use the full heat scale.
That's like quitter talk to me.
Talos will look around and go, "What's a heat scale?"
Don't worry, you'll feel it.
When this thing starts screaming at you, relax for a second.
Nylos, what's your piece of advice for Talos?
And I like to imagine that Nylos and Talos are like bonded enough at this point where he's just gonna like grab his like, all right, look here, you little speed demon. This thing weighs a metric shitload. So when you put the kibosh on the speed, you got to remember, your bike stops pretty quick. This thing keeps fucking going for a while. So if there's a wall in front of you and you want to stop, you got to stop a lot earlier. Think of more like a semi truck, hover truck, whatever. Same thing. Just remember, this thing, the wall ain't gonna stop you. You're gonna punch right through. So you just be observant of that. Visualize where you're gonna be. You know how this works.
Talos will just go, "Visualize being through the wall." Got ya.
Visualize being through. Talos learned that day not to be part of the problem, but to be the whole problem.
Leandra, what kind of advice do you have for him?
Just like your bike, if you take care of the mech, it will take care of you.
As if on
Do-
point, you
Do
look
I have to
over at
fix it as well? I'm not good
No,
at fixing things.
fortunately for you, that's my fucking job.
Fortunately for him, and unfortunately for you. Beautiful.
And I will find a wrench big enough. Here, looks at him. Nylos is not scared of Talos.
That's
Probably
fair.
should be, but he's not.
Right, and last and certainly not least, Jonathan, the paranoid schizophrenic. What do you got for us?
All right, schizophrenic. I never said I was hearing voices. Who said that?
I inferred it.
So Jonathan is going to be kind of standing on one of the missile pods and saying, "Look, everything Straban said is right. This thing has a lot more momentum than a bike and doesn't like to stop. But, and maybe it's because I'm used to an urban mech and I have a warped sense of maneuverability in these things. These things can pivot like hell. So you can dodge and dip around and pivot and reposition pretty well in these things when you get it dialed in. But don't overstress it. Just know that it probably can handle it. These things have been existing longer than many of us have been alive. That fucking thing." And he points at his urban mech. I looked at the date constructed sheet. It was fucking first Succession War that bitch came out.
Oh yeah, she's been rebuilt like 4 times. Yeah.
These things keep ticking.
Yeah, just don't overdo the actuators.
How long ago was the first Succession?
it would have been a couple hundred years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
you're looking almost 200.
yeah, like 175, 200 years, something like that.
Yeah.
There-ish around there.
Long
I
ass
think
fucking time.
Talos is going to say, yeah, I think Bessie's got some parts in her from the first succession. They made some good shit back then.
I mean, she's got some pretty custom stuff. I'm not surprised. He also doesn't like let on, but he kind of like nudges Jonathan, like jerks his head. And there's just a pile of burnt, like busted actuators over in the corner. It's like because we all do it. We all do it. We all do it.
Actuators can be replaced, but pilots can't. And if you have to
Look,
bust
in
an actuator to dodge a shot, do it.
Yeah. As you
But,
are
yeah, that's
all
my advice.
filling Talos with a bit of, advice and some confidence and trying to make him feel at home in the cockpit, you hear a scuffle from down off to your right-hand sides. Down near
Uh-oh.
one of the doorways, you see two of your more recent mech warriors that have been brought on. You see none other than, I think it was Kanea? Is that how you pronounce it?
Kanea, yeah.
Kanea?
Yep.
Kanea and Lancaster. Kanea has just punched Lancaster twice, and he's like stumbling backwards, and she's like, "Where is it, you son of a bitch? Where is it, you fucking blonde-haired piece of fucking shit? I will literally beat it out of you. Where the fuck is it?" He's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hey, sweetheart. I have no idea what the fuck. I knew you fucking took it. I knew." She takes another swing. He dodges it. He squares up, and he's like, "I am not too proud to hit an ugly woman." She's like, "You son of a bitch," and they're like at each other's throats. Who wants to
Talos
hit her first?
immediately pulls
Hey,
out a little notebook and starts taking bets.
God.
I got this guy. This mech tech comes over. He's like, I got 20 bills on the girl.
All right, gang. Easy.
Yeah, betting on your comrades beating the shit out of each other is a horrible thing. Get that out of the way. Give me 15 on the lady.
As Jonathan and Eric both rush over to try, it sounds like, to attempt to pull them off, you
Yeah.
see Kene and you see Lancaster. Lancaster's kind of got like a big shit-eating grin on his face. She is roaring and just foaming at the mouth, like, "Where is it? Where is it, you son of a bitch? I knew you took it. You're the only one who knew where it was. Where the fuck is it? Give it back to me, you absolute fucking horse pile of wannabe mech warrior bullshit." And he's
What the
like,
fuck did he find?
he's like, "Tell me how you really feel, darling." She's like, "You call me darling one more time, I will put a bullet
Mm.
in your fucking groin." And he's just grinning, like, "Ooh,
Sweet mother birdie.
she is spicy today."
Technically, it's still a Mozambique. If she shoots him twice in the body and once in the head, just a different head, still counts.
And still counts.
Valid.
Still counts.
As
All
much
right.
as I'd love to see the results of this little Indian call. Let's tone it down a notch and try to act like adults for once.
Give me a. Give me a. I'm gonna ask for a roll because I think it's important that in a role-playing game we roll
See,
sometimes.
look, we got
Give me a
one
charisma
roll in
check.
there.
I will take street smarts, any kind of diplomacy,
Leadership.
leadership. Absolutely would be perfect. Give me that. And I'm gonna go
Okay.
ahead and roll a quick little 46. That's a pretty tough roll. She's pissed.
Yeah.
She is pissed.
All right.
Hey
Plus
Talos,
force
your
not
little
bad.
pot's up to like 300 C-bills, by the way. Like, it's a pretty.
Yeah.
I really have a time bringing that down. She's as pissed as she is.
Ooh, all right. So I mean, you've got edge.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll give you an edge, Wolf, to re-roll your 6.
How about my 6 and my
Well,
5?
it's not like we're using it for anything else.
6 and a 5, I would say re-roll those.
I like that.
Uh,
So, much better. So that becomes a 4, 5, 6, 9. You succeed. So you step forward, Eric, Jonathan. Jonathan, you've got your hands on Lancaster, who's not resisting. Eric, you interpose yourself between her and Lancaster, Kina and Lancaster, and she's still looking just pissed off at like no other. But she finally manages to like get something out that's more than just derogative expletives, as it were. And she says, "He fucking took it. We've been living on nothing but MREs and paste. I was saving it. I was saving that fucking chocolate bar, and he fucking ate. I know he took it. I knew he fucking took it. I've been holding on to that for fucking 3 months, and that little
Can
fucking blonde-haired son of a fuck. I will.
can I look him up and down, and can I see the shape of a possible Hershey's chocolate bar?
Can you see a Hershey's chocolate bar? No, but you can see a little itty bit of chocolate on his lower lip. Just a little bit on the left corner of his mouth. Dun dun dun. Hold on.
But you know,
Do we both see that or just him?
Well, he was looking. He was definitely looking.
say like, I mean, if you don't let him get, if she doesn't be
Hold on.
stuck on her
Hold on.
fast.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
So I'm gonna put my hand on him and say, "Look, man, it's okay." And then I'm gonna quickly wipe it off and then look at it closely and smell it.
Oh, it's fucking milk chocolate, delicious. Your mouth starts to water. It comes to your attention that goddamn you have been eating nothing but MREs for like 2 months. It's fucking horrible. You haven't had a good meal in a while.
I'm in Kane's corner now, even though I've already created her. I'm gonna intervene and say, yeah, that's definitely AFS chocolate, or sorry, Federated Sons chocolate.
Oh, goody.
As you are looking him up and down, though, Jonathan, you do see in his lapel probably a half-shaped chocolate bar, likely still remaining. He didn't eat it all in one go, just some of it.
I'm gonna fleece it out of him.
He doesn't resist.
Yeah, that's arguably worse, I think. Because now you're offending twice.
You now have the chocolate bar in your possession. It is about half of a chocolate bar remaining.
If you're gonna commit a crime, I don't know why you would not dispose of the evidence as soon as possible.
As I look back and go, oh, great.
He's like, I wasn't hungry anymore. She goes for her gun and goes to draw it. She's like, you son of a bitch. And,
Here, give me the chocolate bar back.
Talos in the background is like, yeah, shoot that fuck.
People are like, yay! All the while this is going on,
Talos is
going on, all right? I just want to point this out to you guys. All the while that this is going on, you look up to see in the walkway
HR watching.
Fucking HR watching this whole thing unfold with her handwritten notepad, looking at you, Leandra, just scribble.
Oh, God.
Kane, do you want the rest of the chocolate bar, or is it too far gone at this point?
Looks at the chocolate bar, looks at Lancaster, who's like, what do you want from me? And she goes to swipe it out of your hands should you allow it.
Yeah, I'll give it to her. I'm letting her.
She takes it. She puts it in her pocket.
Straben just leans over to Talos I've never watched a woman beat a man to death with half of a chocolate bar, but I think we're about to. I'm for it. It's kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie.
And and
Talos says that's because you got out of the streets early.
As she turns around, there is a quick moment where she goes to draw her gun and take aim at Lancaster's leg. Do you try to stop her?
Probably shouldn't let her revoke his kneecap privileges as much as he
I'll
probably
sit there and be
deserves
like,
it.
All right, I will get there on the next shipment. I'm gonna make sure my boys send me 3 extra dark chocolate bars for you that are just yours.
Milk chocolate.
You interject, Eric, to put your hand on her arm. The gun's coming up. It's out. The fucking safety's off. Even Lancaster at this point is like, oh fuck, she might shoot me. He looks a little nervous, and she's
I'm gonna approach her and say, jump officer, pardon me, gotta go Asukawa, or sorry, security officer Asukawa. We do not shoot other members of the crew. This has been noted. He has been found guilty. His a deduction will be taken and placed into your payroll from his. We will also get you a replacement chocolate bar. You are not going to shoot a fellow officer over this. Is this clear?
Moment of hesitation. Duty takes over. Training takes over. She holsters her gun, stands at attention. Sir, yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Roger that. Dismissed.
He nods, gives him one more narrowed-eyed look, and then marches out off the other way. HR is continuing to take a couple of notes up over yonder.
So
And
she was going to shoot him. That counts as her winning, right?
And as HR is taking a couple of notes, you see two on the other walkway, if I may be so bold as to say, Tanaka up there, who is also taking notes. And you see him mouth the words, "Ah, yes, blood sports. This does keep a crew together." He might end up getting a boxing ring for you guys.
Fight.
That
Ooh.
might be nice, right?
Sparring ring.
That'll
Like a
Split
sparring,
ring.
Yeah, like a
Possibly,
sparring
yeah.
ring, so you guys can take out some of that energy in between missions. That's what
Oh,
Jock
boy.
is probably going to suggest. We need a sparring ring. That'd be pretty good, right?
Talos is sandbagging, but literally, we have to put sandbags on him because he's too big. Otherwise, he's just going to fucking knock people out in one hit. It's not fair. It's not fun.
True.
I'm gonna go and turn to Lancaster and say, "You can't be fucking doing this." Like
You're gonna be
I'm gonna
stuck on
say-
vegetable MREs for
What's his
extra
job?
days.
What's
He's a
Lancaster's job?
He's a mech pilot, just like you guys.
Okay.
You know,
Well, okay. He doesn't do anything else. Okay.
mech pilot.
Just a pilot. Well, I mean, just a pilot. He's not.
Just
I'm a
but,
pilot
he'll help
and
out
an
with
engineer.
work and that. Like, does a little bit of everything. Yep.
Oh, I can make him do bitch duty.
You could.
yeah, easy.
He will smile sheepishly and say, "Look, I didn't know it was her only chocolate bar. I thought maybe she had more, and we've all been eating the same MREs. It was a harmless misunderstanding."
Still, you
It's
should be
not a
taking another crew member's
misunderstanding.
shit.
It's not a misunderstanding when you steal somebody's property. I get it.
Hey, Cat, have you ever been shot over a chocolate bar? Because I have not almost been shot over a chocolate bar before. I wouldn't say that's harmless.
You can read the room. And the room is that we're all starving, but at the end of the day, that was her property. Again, pay is going to be deducted for this. It's going to go to her. And
we'll have Carathas walk up basically and whisper something into your ear, and then he'll go bathroom duty.
Oh.
Hey, if he wants to do with chocolate, I got plenty for him.
Oh, son of a
bathroom
bitch.
duty for let's say
We'll
a
just send
weekend.
him bowling.
Yeah, we'll say a weekend.
All right.
Seems
He
like a
has
good
to.
punishment.
He has to clean the shitter after he goes, and he just points right at Talos.
Oh, come on, man. That's cruel and unusual punishment. I
Want
thought
it
we
to
had
be a week?
we had
Want it to be a
laws
week?
against that. It's
And
Talos.
Talos is shoving
Barely
money
suggestions.
into his jacket. While
Yeah, and if it's
continuing
not
to eat his stolen things.
If it's not a terrible enough punishment, you won't fucking learn in this business. She was willing to kill you over that chocolate bar, so maybe this will, keep it nice and fresh in a memory. Every time you see a chocolate bar, you'll just smell whatever comes out of that.
Nice. Sorry. All right, we're gonna cut back several hours later, back to the bridge, where
It is hazard duty, but he does not get double pay.
we are gonna have a bunch of our crew on the bridge with the commander, and this is gonna take place sort of like half in character, mostly kind of like out of character. I want some ideas from the group of missions you'd like to undertake so that we can start to like build up some more supplies, right? Like I'm thinking like if you like, do you want like a defense mission? Do you want another assault mission? Do you want something where you're like knocking out specific targets over a large swath of area? Like what kind of missions would inspire you guys that I can kind of set up for our next session to where we'll get back in the cockpits again? But what kind of missions do you think you guys might like to do and undertake?
Raids will probably work out well.
Yeah, raids would be pretty
Yeah,
good.
with our force right now, for sure.
Yeah, some hit and run, and then obviously, hey, don't destroy all the shit, and then we can take it as lawful salvage.
I quite like convoys and escort. Like stuff where the targets are moving, and it's not necessarily all defense targets are moving as well,
Okay.
and it's just
So kind of like
target-
the Mechwarrior, the BattleTech game, where you'd have those like ones where you have to like destroy a convoy because it's like moving across the
Yeah,
map.
from
Or
one
do you
point of
want
the
to
map
like
to the other.
defend the
Yeah.
convoy?
or
Yeah,
defense.
defending it.
Both. We could do
Defending
both.
it.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think a good variety would both keep the game interesting, but also just from a perspective, if you're just doing milk runs back and forth, it's like good. You get might pay well, but you're gonna be bored out of your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the shit actually does hit, you're gonna be overzealous or not what versus if we got, do reconnaissance, then do a raid, then do a this, then do a that, kind of mix it up a little bit. Also it keeps the enemy guessing. They don't never know, is it gonna be a raid? They get it like what, it keeps them guessing, kind of whatever. A little bit of variety is the spice of life.
I like that. I like that.
Especially if we're on MRE rations, we need a little bit of spice.
A little spice in your life, right?
Hey, I'm trying to bring in what I can for the contracts.
No, that's fine. Well, that's we just gotta make a name for ourselves, and also too, if we're it's a new company and we're like, hey, these guys are good at defending stuff. Word gets out. Hey, they're good at protecting convoys. We're trying to evacuate a planet. These guys are good for defending that sort of shit. Word gets out. Like it, it's like upping your credit rating. Really, there's no downside to it. And
Getting higher in with
fucking
the MRC board when it hurt.
yeah, companies and nobles, royals, whatever, they all fucking talk. And it's like, oh, these guys are good. So my buddy recommended them. What are you going to do? They're going to hire that, I'm going to hire the plumber that my buddy recommended over just some random fucking guy.
Yeah, I don't care how good your Yelp review is. My buddy Carl says you're the shit, so let's fucking go. Yeah, I like that. I like that. All right. So as you guys are on the bridge, Eklov has a couple of, imagine like literally like some contracts that have come across his desk by way of some contacts, his old contacts, maybe some old contacts from the Hellfire Hounds that he still keeps in touch with, as well as it's just different jobs that are out and about that maybe are not necessarily on board all of them, but they're not all off board either. There are two particular contracts that he is going to bring to your attention. Thank you all for joining me here today. I want to discuss with you some potential jobs that we might undertake within the next week or two. They're actually here in this local system. Two of them stand out to me as, well, being of most interest versus all the others. The others are simple smash, destroy jobs, but these particular two, well, if we're able to pull them off, it's one of those make or break kind of things. Not to say that the break wouldn't be repairable, but it'd be much more preferable if we made it. There's a minor noble in this area that is... You're going to laugh at me, but he's getting married soon. He's requested a royal escort of sorts. Two things. Well, that is to say, three things. I don't expect this job to be very violent. As far as I can tell, the noble in question doesn't have any real enemies, but he insists on having a army of mechs to march him from his city to his beloved betrotheds. That job is paying as much as the last job did, and candidly speaking, it sounds like a walk in the park. Second point, though, is we'd have to repaint all the mechs to their house colors. Not something we can't reverse, but I know how you all can get about your stompy robots, as it were. Third part of this is, well, his voice was very annoying, and he chuckles ever so slightly. But it's a simple escort mission. I doubt we'd even run into any true issues during the process. The second mission, one that I find at least mildly interesting for the company here, is one of, well, reconnaissance. The idea is to locate 3 bases that have been hidden on a volcanic moon in one of the planets. These bases are producing the employer wasn't specific about what they're producing, only that he wanted them located and, if possible, destroyed. Both reconnaissance and demolition, as it were. Big issue with that one is it is on a volcanic rock. Heat will be an issue during it, and, well, we have a new pilot, and he looks over very pointedly at Talos, who doesn't exactly know what a heat monitor is. Those are the two that I find most intriguing, but I'll defer to you, Eric, on which you think would be the better of the two to, well, sign up for.
I definitely see the merits of both.
What was the bits of the first one? Just the very first bits. I shut back down while you were
Oh
saying it.
yeah. So the bits on the first one is just it's a noble who wants a like military escort for his marriage, and
Ah.
he literally just wants like some big stompy robots to like march him basically down the metaphorical aisle
Hmm.
from his city to like his betrothed city. He wants it to look like a big fanfare. So they're hiring you, but he doesn't expect there to be any
Gotcha.
issues. Hashtag no spoilers. There probably will be.
What?
Yeah.
Why? So we're not just gonna have
Complications in my complications in my tabletop role playing game.
I didn't sign up for the shit.
Mission starts, completes, 5 minutes later. All right, good session. See you next week.
See you guys next week.
Roll credits.
Roll credits.
It's like, what was it, Far Cry 5? If you just go with the bad guy at the beginning, like it just ends the game.
Does it really?
Yeah. If you choose, if he's just like, stay here, don't move, I'll be back. And if you just sit there and wait at his table for like 5 or 10 in-game minutes, he comes back and is like, all right, let's go like party and just like go get women and shit. And there's just a montage of you doing that, and then the credits roll.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking funny. Or it's Far Cry 4. It's whichever the weird one that's in like the Himalayas. That one. But yeah, it's really fucking funny.
That.
Oh yeah.
And you get an achievement. It's like it is a way to finish the game. You get the same achievement as if you actually did like all the stuff. He's like, yeah, no, and it's just turns out he was like friends with like your dad or whatever. He's like just telling you war stories and shit. It's awesome.
Fucking, just me and my best friend. That's
pretty much.
I love when designers of games do shit like that. Like they put in those like, little Easter egg things. You just like sit there and fucking wait. You come back. It's like, all right, well, let's go have some fun, man.
Did anybody ever play Postal?
Oh yes, of course,
Did
of course,
you
of course.
Queue up when you went? You remember we had to go to the bank
and wait in line behind all those protesters.
Did you ever wait in line?
By the way, thank you, Talos, for doing that reference. That's exactly what I was going for.
Yeah.
What would you say it is you do here?
What did you say?
Yeah.
Ty, excuse me. That's exactly right. It's beautiful. All right.
Versus me is beating the shit out of the.
So what are we thinking we'd like to do as far as a mission? Because this is what I will prepare for us for our next session when it arrives.
My leaning is towards the escort. Knowing the relatively ease of it and getting a more familiarity with mech time for our
I do want to just
dear
point out
Talus.
the noble's voice sounds like this. He's
Oh,
like, hello,
God.
my name is Lord Farquaad. I'm so happy to have you all here.
That's how I'm going to be talking the whole time, by the way.
Some of you may die, but this is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah.
The other thing with Lava Planet is, I think crew, the Wolverine's got jump jets, right? And
yes,
I think Kalos has got jump jets now, but I don't think the rest of us can jump.
Running through lava, not a great plan.
Yeah.
Right.
You need a lot of aluminum foil for that baked potato.
So that's where I'm leaning at is more the escort route.
Plus, the escort thing is a bit more public. Maybe there's some,
advertising.
Maybe there's some nice single
advertising.
bridesmaids. Oh, nothing for that one? Wow.
I want the one that almost shot the guy. That's marriage material right there. If you want to kill a man over a chocolate bar, I am in.
That's fair.
I want a woman that can deck me.
Talos pipes up from the back and goes, rich people giving their money away, I'm going to take it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'm
What he
down
said.
for the escort
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do about those quick draws that we managed to salvage? I mean, we kept the AC-20 ammo from the king crab, but there was a whole lot else we can get out of it.
Honestly, I think we should hold on to them. I mean, there'll be a lot, if we can actually. It was just the chassis, right? Was it? Are they like fully ready to go? I don't know if we ever talked about that.
Nah, that's why I figured I'd bring it up and see what.
Yeah, like, are they just chassis? Like, do we need to dump parts and money into them, or are they fully fledged, ready to go?
Parts and money into them.
Okay.
But I think we should do a roll for finding some mechs that you guys want to find. I think it'd be interesting. I need to think about, though, between now and next session, I'll think about like a good means of like, okay, like at this point you guys should have access to these types of mechs, and then I can build like a table and roll randomly on like what do you find at this particular hub. I want to
Okay.
create a kind of I think, as I mentioned earlier before we like started, but like to create a kind of balance with MechWarrior Destiny, because it's really easy just to like break the game. It is, because it's a
So
very
easy just to set off and go, oh, no,
yeah,
I've
it's
got
like
a
okay, we
assault
literally
mech.
won't lose ever again. Like nothing will ever challenge us, or it'll
Oh
even
man, a dire wolf. That's my 4th this week.
it becomes
Said no
a
one ever.
rocket tag, right? So
Yeah.
it becomes like very I want it to be a slow burn, as I said. So I think
Yeah.
we need to create a
And,
kind of a randomness to it, where we can't just be
mhm.
like, I want this, I get this. It's like weapons, we'll roll randomly, we'll see what happens. And I'm gonna probably err on the side of like having it be harder to find stuff, so that when you do,
Mhm.
it's like, oh sweet,
It's a
or
bigger
I
deal. Yeah.
we found
Yeah.
one of these weapons. Okay, who are we gonna put it on? Who's gonna wield it? How's it gonna work, etc.
Yeah.
So
I
One
mean,
of the things that I
I
liked in the BattleTech PC game is that you got weapons based on the area that you were
I
in
think that's awesome.
space, based
Yeah.
on what they manufactured.
yeah, that
You know,
that could
if
give
this
like
area is good with,
modifiers
yeah,
to rules and stuff
Yep.
too. Like
Yep.
you might not be guaranteed, but it's a lot higher than hey, if they
Yeah.
make a
Hey,
lot of
I'm
this
in the
shit,
area
chances are that's going to be
where
on the market.
this
Yeah.
particular mech's very, very popular. This is what I'm looking for. I get like a bonus to like the roll to get it. I think that would be cool. That's something I'm gonna have to sit down and work with you guys on. Because I honestly
Yeah,
don't have anything off the top of my head that I could use for that. But I
that's
want to
fair.
add that because I think it will create a kind of, I think creating a little bit of scarcity will make
Yeah.
finding stuff more poignant and more important, and it will help.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'll help kind of delay you'll eventually get there to where you guys are just, we all have assault mechs, we just win. Like it'll happen, but it will take longer to get there, and
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing, because it'll help extend the story. Um, I think
I'm done.
I think that could work. Everybody on board with
Well,
that? Does that make
plus
sense?
technically,
Oh, sure.
we did bring like I think 3 medium or at least 2. The Centurions were probably should have been left in the dust. We kind of brought them. We're just like, oh, fuck it.
Okay.
So we're probably slightly just a smidge stronger than we probably should be. I mean, nothing special, but Centurions are probably what top 3 most common platforms in existence. But
It's definitely up there.
yeah, it's definitely up
Good
there. It's
one,
been
yeah.
around for a long time. It's
You get
definitely
that
a
in
workhorse.
MechWarrior 5, and you're just like, well, I can use this for like the first third of the game. It's just
I
as
used it,
epic.
and then I stopped using it, and then I gave it to the next guy, and then he stopped using it, and it went to like a third guy, and then like
My
it's
favorite mech I
always good.
found in MechWarrior 5, we're on a bit of a tangent here, forgive me, but my favorite mech I found in MechWarrior 5 was a Warhammer variant that had 4 machine guns in the chest,
Black
and
Widow.
I
Yeah,
made
that's
them
the Black
all like the
Widow.
max machine gun, and I did a mission solo one time. I've never been able to find that one again. It was an amazing mech. It was like a hero mech or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they're just
Black Widow. It's
random.
Natasha Kerensky's
Uh,
Black Widow
Oh,
hero mech.
dear God. I did a mission, which one of those like defense missions where like the waves just keep coming, and I think I went like an hour and a half just like running up to guys, like machine gunning them in the head. I ran out of ammo
that's
before,
funny.
and I had to leave because I ran out of ammo. But I had like the thing had like 1,200 rounds of machine gun, like 12,000 rounds of like machine gun ammo.
Wow.
That thing was a fucking nightmare. A
It's just
nightmare.
the mechs from the Matrix 3. It's just you
Pretty
just
much. I would just literally just run up, and like I was really good at headshotting. I just run up and just be like, and you'd watch their
Daka
head, their
daka daka.
cockpit just go boom, boom, because it was a fuck ton of damage. It was awesome.
that's funny.
So yeah, big fan, big fucking fan.
Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like we're gonna do escort mission. Am I right on assuming that? Okay.
Yeah,
I believe
that
so.
sounds like the play.
Very good. So here's what I'll be doing. Before our next session, I will be setting up an escort mission where nothing bad surely will happen. He said.
Oh no, I am so
I'm
surprised.
glad we got into it. I know this was a very heavy roleplay session, but I just wanted to get back in and know your characters a little bit, meet some of the NPCs, see how you guys deal with a little bit of chaos, and just just have a little fun. It was good. Let's talk turkey about next session when we can meet. Um, it is the 3rd. Next session will be the 10th. I think somebody said they're out of town.
I will be available.
Is everyone good next Saturday?
I'm good.
No,
You're
You're not,
I've got
Jonathan. It was you.
PAX
Okay.
East. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. I thought
Yeah,
so.
that's right.
So let's plan
He's
for
gonna
the
be off getting
17th.
the packed the con crud.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that I already have.
I used to
Super
do
fun.
a lot of conventions back in the day, and con crud's a real thing. I used to volunteer at this one called UMACon here in Michigan, and every year I would get super sick.
I've never been to
Um,
like a con, but I've been to some like Warhammer Opens, the really big ones, and I've never gotten something.
some
Thankfully,
of
I
the
think it's just because I've
nicest.
already got probably everything that you could have anyway. I'm like a fucking anti-paladin, just disease just bounces off. Maybe I don't know,
Some of
but
the nicest and most disgusting people you'll ever run into. So,
My
yeah,
next event is until the 24th, and I'll be on a convention out in Albuquerque.
good
you
shit.
know, despite stereotypes, I've been to a lot of big Warhammer tournaments. Never seen a butt crack. At least it's better than Yu-Gi-Oh, where they had to make that unofficial rule that you must maintain hygiene, or we will throw your ass out of the tournament, and we will be keeping your entry fee money. Thank you.
That's
There's
so
gonna be weird
disgusting.
stories there.
So, yeah. But
All right. Well, as always, at the end of every session, thank you to the players for playing. Without you guys, this is impossible. Thank you to the viewers for viewing, for hanging out with us. We had a nice little bout of role play. Got to know our characters a little bit, get a little bit of direction of where we want to go. And next session, you guys might have a boxing ring, which we could take out some of our aggression on one another, which I think will be absolutely fantastic.
Totally.
Talos, go easy on them. All right, go easy on them. But as always say it
Talos is
well.
definitely down for
Be
setting that up.
well, be safe, happy gaming, and remember, the dice have a story to tell. We'll see you guys next session, and we'll get back into some big giant stompy roboting. Until then, be well and be safe, everyone. Cheers.